A very warm welcome to Sheffield for the final day of the BUCS Indoor National Championships. Still some great racing to come on the track and some big finals in the field events as well. Next event is the first of 5 semi-finals in the women's 200 meters. The winners qualifying and one best runner-up will make their way to the medal event as well. In lane 1 from Newcastle, we have Hannah Malpas. Teresa Yanatelli of Cardiff goes in 2. Beth Pringle leads Beckett in 3. Zoe Thompson of Coventry in 4. Yvette Westwood Birmingham in 5, and Paige Fairclough of Hertfordshire in the purple jersey goes in lane 6. Before we get underway, would like to take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to our partners Ashaway, Camp America, and of course Cookery and Outgoing as well. Couldn't have these fantastic events without their support. And if you are just joining us, of course, we've been here since Friday covering all of the action at these BUCS Indoor Championships. But if you are just joining us, this is part of the Indoor Nationals 2018. 8 sports across 6 venues in this fantastic sporting city of Sheffield. And we're live streaming all of the athletics and all of the swimming as well. The swimming over at the legendary Ponds Forge. And some of the highlights have been clipped up, some of the best moments across the athletics and the swimming. So if you head over to Twitter at BUCS Sport, BUCS SPORT, then you can see some of the best bits, including the mascot race from yesterday, where I wasn't the only one who lost my head. So the next race on the track is the first semi-final of the women's 200 meters. Hannah Malpas on the inside from Newcastle University. Teresa Yanatelli of Cardiff in 2. Beth Pringle leads Beckett in 3. Zoe Thompson, Coventry 4. Yvette Westwood, Birmingham 5. Paige Fairclough, Hertfordshire in 6. Paige Fairclough, the only one who qualified in under 25 seconds. The fastest qualifiers, now that these semi-finals have been seeded, will be in lane 6. The men's pole vault is about to get underway in the field area as well. We've had the B final already. This is the A final for the medals. So we'll intersperse the 200 meters with some of the pole vault as well. In fact, there's an attempt happening right now. That's a failure at 460. Just out of your shot as they're called to their marks in heat 1 of the women's 200 meters semi-finals. And away we go, just one lap of this indoor track. Then Paige Fairclough in the purple of Hertfordshire over and lane 6. Yvette Westwood of Birmingham going well at the moment, as is Zoe Thompson of Coventry. However, Paige Fairclough of Hertfordshire will come round the bend, coming under scrutiny from Thompson. And Westwood is going to go all the way to the wire this, but Fairclough is going to hold on. She'll book her place in the final. Yvette Westwood will have a chance of qualifying as well. 24.53 for Paige Fairclough. Westwood will be under 25 seconds. So there'll be a question mark as to whether it will be quick enough. Brutal competition, knowing that you need to win your semi-final. Just the one place for the runner-up as well, ahead of the medal event. The women's 200 meter final scheduled for 3:30, so they don't have long to warm down and warm up again. It's coming up to 5 to 2 now. Here's Callum Court of Cambridge attempting 460. Second attempt for him. And a grimace as he went a little bit early. And that's a failure at 460. for Callum Court. Next to attempt 460 will be Finlay Cordery of Swansea. Another great crowd here today in Sheffield. The stands are full. You don't see the main stand because it's just underneath our camera position. But plenty of athletes and spectators alike lining up on the barriers on the far side of the track too. And they're going to get a great view of Swansea's Finlay Cordery. Second attempt at 4 meters 60 for the Swansea man. And he pulls out, so that'll be a no jump for Cordery. The flag hasn't been raised, so I think Cordery is going to have another bite at the cherry here. He just gets his grip right. Next up on the track will be heat 2 of 5 in the women's 200-meter semi-finals. And now here goes Finlay Cordery, attempting 460, a second attempt for the man from Swansea. Doesn't quite get that right. More akin to an attempt at Dutch canal jumping. Tell you what, if you're into alternative sports, that's certainly something to check out. But failure at 460 for Swansea's Finlay Cordery. He'll have one more go at that height. That was another failure at 460 for Cambridge's Callum Court. Heat number 2 of 5 in the women's 200-meter semi-finals. Ailsa Marsh of Aberdeen goes in 1. Ellie Bandy, East Anglia, in 2. Nicola Cahill of Northumbria in 3. Emily Strickland of Newcastle goes in 4. Selena Henderson, Queen Margaret, in 5. And Hayley Mills of Nottingham goes in lane 6. Who will join Paige Fairclough in the final. It's been a great start from Hayley Mills of Nottingham. Over there in lane 6, no surprise to see her tearing up the track, and she's certainly the favourite to book her place in the final from this heat. Ailsa Marsh of Aberdeen and Ellie Bandy going well. There's a real race for second place here, but Hayley Mills takes it. 24.29 for Mills. 0.01 slower than her qualification, but safely through to the final, looking for the sprint double after claiming the 60 meters on day 1. And Hayley Mills of Nottingham, 24.29, the fastest time out of the 2 heats so far. In fact, the second fastest time of the day, behind her own 24.28, and we'll be seeing her in the final later this afternoon. Tom Booth of Manchester, attempting 4.70 meters in the final of the men's pole vault. It's a first attempt at 4.70 for the Manchester man. Had a few drop out of the competition at 4.60. So this would put Tom Booth provisionally in first place in the competition. Here he goes. Doesn't clear it. Catches it with the chest on the way over. He'll have another 2 bites at the cherry, though. Heat 3 of the women's 200 meters semi-finals. Paige Fairclough and Hayley Mills already booked their places. Looking to join them, we have Lydia Rogers in lane 1, Rebecca Walkden in 2, Sarah Malone in 3, Sharon Jakisa in 4, Rebecca Matheson 5, and Darcy Kuipers of Brunel in lane 6. Darcy Kuipers, the second fastest qualifier this morning, 24.78 for her, and she's gone away well in lane 6, as has Rebecca Matheson from Robert Gordon. Those two leaving the rest in their wake as it stands. Matheson might just about have the lead here coming into the home straight, but Darcy Kuipers then puts her foot on the gas to take this one home. Will she stop the clock? 24.38. Kuipers from Matheson. And that's the second fastest time over the line that we've had in these semi-finals. 24.38 for Darcy Kuipers. A little slower than 24.29 that we've had from Hayley Mills, but quicker than the 24.53 we've had from Paige Fairclough. Matheson, very close though. The Robert Gordon athlete. That might stand her in good stead to pick up that 6th and final place available in the final for the best qualifier. 2 races to come in the women's 200 meter semis. We then move on to the men's, but in the meantime, let's cast our eyes back to the pole vault competition. Finlay Cordery about to take on his second attempt at 4.70 meters. Cleared 4.60 at the third time of asking. Here he goes, Finlay Cordery of Swansea. Second attempt, 4.70 meters. Catches it with his shins on the way over. So last chance saloon for the Swansea man. Zach Harrop from Cardiff Met, his second attempt at 4.70 meters. Doesn't get the grip right, so he'll have one more attempt at that height. Heat 4 of the 200-meter semi-finals. Kate Johnston of Stirling does not start in lane 1. In lane 2, Taylor Spence of Robert Gordon. Molly Adams of Loughborough goes in 3. Mia Chapman, Bedfordshire, in 4. Jasmine Moss, Northumbria, in 5. And Melissa Roberts of Cardiff Met goes in lane 6. Roberts qualifying in 24.61, the only one to go under 25 seconds earlier today. And only Hayley Mills went faster than her in the first round. Darcy Kuipers did in the previous heat, though, 24.38 for Kuipers. How will Roberts respond? And where, if anywhere, will the challenge come from? Roberts does get away well, as does Jasmine Moss from Northumbria, just inside her in lane 5. But Melissa Roberts looking good down the back straight. Can Jasmine Moss apply any pressure? She might do, you know. They're shoulder to shoulder into the home straight, and Roberts having to work hard for this. Moss has just got the edge. It could be a photo finish. Moss takes it. Jasmine Moss in 24.39 pips Melissa Roberts on the line. And that is a great run from Northumbria's Jasmine Moss, 24.39. Just 0.01 behind Darcy Kuipers in terms of qualification. Surely should be enough for Roberts to get to the final. But what a brilliant final bend and home straight from Jasmine Moss to cut nearly a second off her qualification time of 25.28. Third and final attempt here at 4.70 meters. Oh, so close for Finlay Cordery. Just caught it with his chest on the way down. And that is the end of the competition for Swansea's Finlay Cordery. Cardiff Met's Zach Harrop has got his third and final attempt at the same height. Overran his second attempt, went straight through the jump. And here he goes with his final go. 4.70 is the height. His third attempt, catches it on the way up. So that's the end of the competition for Cardiff Met. Zach Harrop cleared 4.60, failed at 4.70. And I don't think he can quite believe it. The final heat of the semis then. Esther Fuja of Portsmouth in that purple jersey goes in lane 1. Eleanor Grove in the blue and gold of Bath in 2. Ash Colvin, Liverpool John Moores in 3. Alice O'Donnell of Birmingham in 4. Izzy Bryant Brunel in 5. And Amy O'Donnell of Cardiff Met in lane 6. O'Donnell looking to go one better than Melissa Roberts, who was shocked by Jasmine Moss in the previous heat. O'Donnell and Izzy Bryant separated by just 0.03 of a second in the heats. So expecting this to be very tight. Just one automatic qualification spot up for grabs as they go past the pole vault that continues while this race does, but it's advantage Izzy Bryant at the moment. But here comes O'Donnell. Great finish from her. She's going to come home. She's going to take it for Cardiff Met in 24.49. Blistering pace, nearly half a second quicker than she went in qualification. And Amy O'Donnell will be in the final. Well, both the O'Donnells, Amy and Alice, offering each other some congratulations, but we'll only have one in the final. And it will be Amy. 24.49 for her. She will join Jasmine Moss, Darcy Kuipers, Hayley Mills and Paige Fairclough in the 200-metre final. They'll be joined by one runner-up as well. We've not received confirmation of who that'll be yet, but Melissa Roberts was very close to Jasmine Moss over the line. Rebecca Matheson ran well too, as did Yvette Westwood from Birmingham. That concludes the women's 200-metre semis. Next on the track is the men's. But let's go back to this pole vault competition. 480 is the first attempt here, cleared easily by George Turner. Oh, the Brighton man glances up. I'm not entirely sure he knows how well he jumped there. He looks like he's got plenty in the tank. So the first attempt from Turner from Brighton goes over 480. Here is Joseph Lister. Well, that was Joseph Lister. And instead, we go to the women's long jump competition that's going into the 6th round. Here is Lister. First attempt at 480. Oh, clips it on the way through, but the bar stays up. It's still wobbling, and he stared up at it for a little while to hit Joseph Lister. Still goes. But that is a first round clearance at 480 for Joseph Lister. George Heppenstall goes over 480 at his second attempt. Five semi-finals in the men's 200 meters. This is the first of them. Talal Alami of Bath goes in lane 1. Lane 2's empty as James Walden has withdrawn. Cathan Marcel of Brunel goes in 3. Nick Petru of Leeds Beckett in 4. Enzo Madden, East London in 5. Joe Ferguson, Sheffield Hallam goes in lane 6. Same format as the women's competition. Only the winner guaranteed qualification, and there is one best runner-up from the 5 semi-finals that will join them for the final later this afternoon. So Joe Ferguson, the favourite, 21.98. Only 2 qualifiers under 22 seconds, and he was one of them. But Enzo Madden from East London is really turning the screw here as they go into the final bend. Enzo Madden's going to lead Joe Ferguson as they come around the corner, but Ferguson finds some speed, and it will be Joe Ferguson in the final, 21.61. And knew he was under pressure from Madden there. Yelp of celebration as he came over the line, and Joe Ferguson is the first man to book his place in the 200-meter final. 21.61 for the Hallam man. Failure on the first attempt at 4.90 there for George Heppenstall. Nearly clear. As we go to the 6th round of the women's long jump. Still loads of action to come in the track centre. But the men's long jump final to come, as well as the high jump men and women, where we're expecting a British record attempt from Morgan Lake in the colours of Loughborough. This is George Turner, first attempt at 4.90. Made 4.80 look easy moments ago. George Turner. No prizes for doing the splits. That's a failure of his first attempt at 4.90. Just about landed on the mat. A little bit of a limp as well, but I'm sure he'll shake that off. These pole vaulters go through far worse than that. He'll have another 2 attempts at 4.90 meters. Incidentally, 5.42 is the championship record. Back to the track in Heat 2 of the men's 200 meters semi-finals. Timothy Tan of Liverpool goes in lane 1. Joshua Lethard, Cardiff in 2. Fabio Porto, Southampton Solent in 3. Tyler Williams of Cardiff Met in 4. Benjamin Wells of Gloucestershire in 5. Keno Elliott, Paris Samuel, the fastest qualifier, in the colours of St Mary's in lane 6. ...22.13 was the fastest time. But 22.34 for Benjamin Wells of Gloucestershire, and Tyler Williams quick as well. But Paris Samuel really putting the marker down here and applying the pressure. Tyler Williams got some catching up to do, as has Fabio Porto. Keno Elliott, Paris Samuel, the only man in this race. And how quick is it? 21.75. So he takes 0.38 out of his qualification time, but more importantly, from his perspective, books his place in the final. Qualified for the final in the 60 meters as well, did Keno Elliott, Paris Samuel. Good weekend for him. Will he be able to find a place on the podium? Joe Ferguson, Keno Elliott, Paris Samuel will be in the final of the 200 later this afternoon. 4 more places up for grabs. Here's George Heppenstall. Second attempt at 490 for him. Just caught it with the knee on the way through. So he'll have one more go at 490. Second attempt for George Turner. Definitely got the quality to get over this height. Made 480 look easy. Didn't get his first attempt at this height right. How will he get on second time round? Clears it with authority. 490 done and dusted for Brighton's George Turner. Back to the track, heat 3 of the men's 200-meter semi-finals. 5 full lanes this time. Alexander Everly, west of England, will not start in lane 1. Shea Holloway of Sheffield goes in 2. Josh Parry, Chichester in 3. Bryn Smith of Brighton in 4. Oliver Biddle, Gloucestershire in 5. And James Gladman of Bath. The fastest qualifier in this heat goes in lane 6. I say fastest qualifier, but just 0.09 between Gladman and Biddle. So expect a real battle between those two in lane 5 and 6. Keno Elliott, Paris Samuel, Joe Ferguson already in the final. And the winner of this race will be joining them. Away we go. James Gladman on the outside, off to a good start. So already put a few meters on Oliver Biddle, and Bryn Smith from Brighton going well out of lane 4 as well. But Gladman up the bank in that outside lane. Bryn Smith going really well, but Gladman comes off the bend first, cruises home. He'll win this by about 10 meters, and he'll go 21.28 as well. So over 0.8 quicker than his qualification time. We're expecting a real battle between Biddle and Gladman, but Gladman made it look easy. 21.28. We'll see him in the final. Can he go quicker again? He might have to if he wants to get a medal. But as it stands, the fastest qualifier, 21.28, Bath University's James Gladman. George Heppenstall, Sheffield Hallam. A first attempt at 5 meters. Here goes Heppenstall. Catches that one on the way up, so a bit of work to do if he's going to make that clearance at 5, but he'll have 2 more attempts. Brighton's George Turner with his first attempt at 5 meters. Clearances at 480 and 490 before this attempt. Very nice indeed. Clean as a whistle for George Turner. 5 meters. Cleared at the first attempt. Joseph Lister now of Brunel. First go at 5 meters for him. You've just seen George Turner go clear. Got confirmation of the women's 200-meter finalists as well. Melissa Roberts of Cardiff Met did pick up that spot, as we suspected she might. But how does the Brunelian get on? Clips it again, and it doesn't stay up this time. Clipped 490. And the gods were smiling on him that time, but Joseph Lister have to have another go at 5 meters. So yes, Melissa Roberts, 24.43 will start in lane 1. Paige Fairclough, Amy O'Donnell, Darcy Kuipers, Hayley Mills and Jasmine Moss. What a race that will be. Scheduled for 3:30, and we hope you'll join us for that one. But in the meantime, let's concentrate on the men's 200 meters. This is heat number 4 of 5. Alfie Rowett of Cardiff goes in lane 1. John Adedee Johnson does not start in lane 2. So next up in lane 3 is Ewan MacArthur of Stirling. Kieran Shah of Cardiff Met goes in 4. Jordan Broome, Birmingham, goes in 5. Alex Haydock-Wilson of Loughborough goes in lane 6. Haydock-Wilson, the only man to qualify in this heat in under 22 seconds. In fact, he was the fastest qualifier in the preliminaries earlier today, 21.81 for him. Joe Ferguson went round in 21.98, but bettered that, 21.61 in his semi-final. Haydock-Wilson gets away well, as does Jordan Broome inside him. Broome going very well indeed and tearing up the back straight. Alex Haydock-Wilson could be in a little bit of trouble here, has some work to do around the bend, but Jordan Broome, University of Birmingham, flying round, and Haydock-Wilson digging in, but it's not going to be enough. Jordan Broome takes it, 21.41. Books his place in the final, and Haydock-Wilson, having qualified quickest, might not get a run in the final. Jordan Broome, 21.41, a clear second quicker than his qualification time. Shake of the head behind him there from Kieran Sharp. Pretty sure that he won't feature, but will Alex Haydock-Wilson. Joseph Lister, Brunel, second attempt at 5 meters. Second attempt at 5 meters, clears it cleanly as well. Joseph Lister gets the white flag, and he will progress. Next is a third and final attempt for Nathan Gardner of Cardiff at the same height of 5 meters. Fifth and final heat of the men's 200 meters semi-finals then. We've got a third and final attempt for Cardiff University's Nathan Gardner here at 5 meters. Needs this one to stay in the competition. Away he goes, last chance saloon. Catches that with the chest on the way down. Speculative moment there for the Cardiff University man, but Nathan Gardner's pole vault competition is over. So let's turn our attention to the track. Ryan Lowe of Birmingham in lane 1. Abbas Hamo of Sheffield Hallam in 2. Emmanuel Sasanya, East London, in that blue jersey with the white sleeves in 3. Nicholas Price, Staffordshire in 4. Benjamin Paris, Loughborough in 5. And Luke Durrell of Brunel goes in lane 6. All but Ryan Lowe in that 22-second bracket in the qualifiers, so a place in the final very much up for grabs here. Jordan Broome, James Gladman, Keno Elliott, Paris Samuel and Joe Ferguson have already booked their place. There'll be one fastest runner-up spot as well. I believe that to be Alex Haydock-Wilson of Loughborough at the moment, but that's to be confirmed. At least one of these men will be joining them. Durrell Brunel in lane 6, the fastest qualifier. Ben Paris in lane 5, 22.41, the second fastest. Nicholas Price did very well in the 60 meters earlier in the weekend. Can he replicate that and book his place in the final here? And Emmanuel Sasanya, only 0.03 slower than Ben Paris. He's in lane 3 in those East London colours. This could be about the most competitive of them all, you know. And the green card shown, just a little bit of added tension. We've had some really good times in these semi-finals as well. Jordan Broome, 21.41. James Gladman as well, taking nearly a second off his qualification time, 21.28. Heat 5 of 5 in the men's 200 semi. Low in 1, Hemo in 2, Sasanya 3, Price 4, Paris 5, Dorel 6. Underway, first time. Nicholas Price, Staffordshire, with a really good start. Ben Paris from Loughborough has had a chunk taken out of him by Luke Durrell of Brunel, the fastest qualifier, but coming under some pressure here from Nicholas Price. How will they shape up coming off the final bend? It's Durrell from Price. Paris coming on strong, but Durrell's going to take it. Durrell will make the final 21.38. That's the second fastest time of the semi-finals, behind James Gladman. But Luke Durrell from Brunel books his place in the last 6. Nervous wait for Ben Paris. I think it's going to be him or Alex Haydock-Wilson who'll pick up that best runner-up spot. But Luke Durrell joins Jordan Broome, James Gladman, Keno Elliott, Paris Samuel and Joe Ferguson in the final that will be on the track at 20 to 4 local time, so in just over 2 hours' time. First attempt at 5 meters 10 for Joseph Lister from Brunel. Oh, and he made that one look easy. The celebrations began before he even hit the mat. And this is the presentation for the women's long jump competition. That was the third and final attempt at 5 meters 10 there for George Turner of Brighton. The next event on the track's due to start in a couple of minutes' time. That's the final of the women's 3,000 meters. We'll be flicking in between that and the rest of the pole vault competition. But the lineup for the women's final: Lauren Cooper of Cardiff, she'll start on the inside. Kieran Marsh of Nottingham. Justine Anthony, one of 2 Loughborough finalists. Danny Chatterton of Imperial. Victoria Weir of Birmingham. Alice Wright from Chichester. Anna Tate of Glasgow Caledonian. Sophie Cowper, Anglia Ruskin. Stella Cross of Sheffield. Grace Carson is the 2nd Loughborough runner. Anna Delaney of Liverpool Hope, and Kate Seary of Birmingham. 3,000 metres, 15 laps of this 200-metre track. This will be followed by the men's 3,000 metres. They all went through qualification yesterday. We had a couple of 10.07s. Kieran Marsh, 10.06.76 was the one that really caught our eye. Kieran Marsh currently halfway down the pack. She's in the Nottingham colours, the green vest with the gold and white trim, wearing 1029, and the orange boots. Anna Tate, Glasgow Caledonian, leading us out at the moment. The back marker is Alice Wright from Chichester. So as they settle into this one, the 3,000 metre final, we're going to take a look back at the pole vault competition. 5:20 is on the bar. Joseph Lister from Brunel cleared 5:10 at his first attempt. He's there in the navy vest with the gold trim. This is his first attempt at 5:20. Incidentally, I think I've mentioned this already, but the competition record is 5:42 in the men's pole vault. Steadies himself as they go past him on the back straight, and he overtakes them in kind. 5:20. Not quite right that time for the Brunelian. And they'll see 12 laps to go in this 3,000 metre final this time. Anna Tate, Glasgow Caledonian, still there at the front. Sophie Cowper, Anglia Ruskin in behind her. Got Danny Chatterton from Imperial currently in 3rd. And Birmingham's Victoria Weir is there as well. We've got 2 Birmingham representatives. We've got Weir and Kate Seary. A couple of athletes just being cut off the back there. We've got that group of 5, 6, 7 at the front. 2 minutes 20 gone. Pretty good pace here, but not as strung out as we saw some of the races in qualification, suggesting that tempo isn't too high, and this is going to be a real tactical effort. Keep your eye on Kieran Marsh, though, currently sat in 6th place. She'll be very happy with this pace, because in the latter half of her qualifier, that's when she really took it home. 5:20 still on the bar in the pole vault. Joseph Lister's going to have a second attempt at that. To the best of my knowledge, he's the last man left in the competition, so 5:20 will be a winning height for him. Cooper of Anglia Ruskin leading the pace around here. 10 laps remaining of this 3,000 metre final. We've got Kate Seary in 3rd place. One of the tallest athletes in the field. Some of the Birmingham athletes going with the matching face paint for the kit as well. I noticed Exeter getting involved with that as well. Got Grace Carson there or thereabouts, the diminutive Loughborough athlete. She's currently in 5th place. Kieran Marsh just on her shoulder. And Victoria Weir of Birmingham just making up that pack as well. We've just got a few in that group starting to feel the pace here. Lauren Cooper of Cardiff just dropping off the back, as is Hannah Delaney and Stella Cross as well. The 2 back markers, Justine Anthony and Alice Wright. They're trotting round as a pair, but they've been cut off maybe 40 or 50 metres behind this lead group that's thinning out with every passing lap. We've got a 7 now with Cardiff's Lauren Cooper in 8th place. just in danger of being cut adrift. Victoria Weir needs to make sure she stays close as well, because once you drop off the pack, so difficult to latch back on again. Sophie Coper, Anglia Ruskin leads with 8 laps to go. Meanwhile, over in the pole vault, Joseph Lister will be steadying himself for a second attempt at 5 meters 20. Plenty of time to go in this 3,000 meters as we go back to the pole vault. This is a second attempt for Joseph Lister of Brunel. 5:20 on the bar and underneath on the first go. Now he's had a good look at it. Him and him alone, with a great crowd lined up behind the barrier on the far side. Here we go, second attempt, 5:20. Catches it with the shins, and that was a little bit sketchy from the Brunelian, but he'll have one more go at it. Closer with the second than the first, and everyone here in Sheffield is behind him as it clunches back together, that big group of athletes, and Cardiff's Lauren Cooper still sticking to the back of that one. Now, interestingly, Loughborough's Grace Carson, she found herself blocked in by Kieran Marsh, but she's still there in 5th place. And Victoria Weir of Birmingham moves up alongside her teammate Kate Seary as well. Perhaps she wants to inject some pace to this group that we thought a couple of laps ago she might get cut off the back of. Justine Anthony of Loughborough and Alice Wright still those back markers. Not quite half a lap down, but certainly won't be featuring in the latter stages. Just 6 laps to go. There's a pretty high tempo here, and we approach 6.5 minutes of this 3,000 meter final, still being led by Danny Chattenton of Imperial, who's been in 1st or 2nd at each of the laps that have passed. 10 down, 5 to go. Victoria Weir of Birmingham nearly in lane 3, taking the wide berth, but putting herself into 3rd place. Her teammate Kate Seary in 2nd. Kieran Marsh still positioning herself in 6th place. I think she's running a very intelligent race here. The fastest qualifier. And everyone in that group looks pretty happy with the tempo. So I wonder if, as we get to the final kilometre, in fact the final 800 meters with 4 laps to go, will somebody start to turn the screw? It does string out, and in fact Danny Chattenton does put her foot on the gas here. Has she gone a little bit too quick? Still plenty of racing to go, but Chattenton from Imperial qualified in 10:22, so 15 seconds slower than the fastest qualifiers, is going from a long way out here, and she's put a 15-meter gap between her and the 2 Birmingham athletes, Kate Seary and Victoria Weir. No response yet from Kieran Marsh, no response yet from Grace Carson. 1 attempt remaining in the pole vault. And when Joseph Lister's ready to go, we'll return to that. But this turning into a very interesting 3,000 meter final. And Danny Chattenton from Imperial has increased that gap, and she looks pretty comfortable out there as well. No response yet from the usual suspects, from Kieran Marsh, who looked so comfortable yesterday. And we thought she might have left something in the tank for this final, but now she's a 1/3 of a lap down as Danny Chattenton is marching, not just increasing her gap on 2nd and 3rd place, but she's about to go around the back markers as well. Justine Anthony and Alice Wright are going to get passed by Imperial's Danny Chattenton as she increases her lead and takes full control of this 3,000 meter final. Well, we expected the pace to increase, but it looks like Chattenton has timed this to perfection. She hears the bell. Kate Seary will be the 2nd to hear it, and it'll be Victoria Weir the 3rd. Danny Chattenton is cruising to victory here around the back straight for the final time. It's looking like an Imperial victory and a Birmingham second and third. Kate Seary having a final throw of the dice here, but it's going to be too much to make up. Danny Chatterton of Imperial is going to be the 3,000-meter champion. She led from the front for the entirety of the race. Kate Seary is going to pick up second, and her Birmingham teammate Victoria Weir will get the bronze medal. Gold for Imperial, silver for Birmingham, bronze for Birmingham. It's going to be fourth place for Loughborough. Grace Carson. And then Lauren Cooper will pick up fifth. Sixth place for Kirandeep Marsh. And just look at that time, 9:37 for the winner. What a run from the champion. Danny Chatterton is the BUCS Indoor Champion 2019. And Joseph Lister from Brunel has his third and final attempt at 5 meters 20. Nowhere near with the first, close with the second. The whole arena's behind him here. Last throw of the dice doesn't get there. And that is the end of the competition. Consolatory handshake. 520 centimeters, 5 meters 20. So much going on here. Trying to keep my eye across all of the action. Of course, we've just had the 3,000-meter final. Very impressive from Chatterton. Weir and Seary making up the podium there. And it's all smiles for the Birmingham athletes as well. We've got the men's high jump competition and the women's high jump competition still to come. We've got first attempts at 1.63 over there, but we're expecting an attempt at 1.97 and beyond as Morgan Lake looks to continue her progression as Great Britain's premier high jumper. She equalled Katarina Johnson-Thompson's indoor record on the 26th of January this year. She's the World Junior Champion. She's picked up outdoor medals in the World Cup. She picked up a silver in London in 2018, Commonwealth silver in the Gold Coast. She jumped 193 outdoors, but has got 197 indoors this season. Will she go higher today in Sheffield? Finalists on the line for the men's 3,000 meters. Got Jamie Parkinson of Oxford on the inside. To his right, Jake Smith of Cardiff Met. Then James Hennigan in the red jersey for Cardiff. Southampton Solence Mohammed. Tim Horton of Sheffield. Linton Taylor leads Beckett. James Gormley of Birmingham. Declan Neary of Brighton. Then we've got the St Mary's duo of Dan Jarvis and Abdul Khani Sharif. Daniel Mulryan of Imperial, and Andrew Smith of Leeds Beckett makes up the field. The high jump men's and women's finals will continue throughout this 3,000 meters and beyond. But after Danny Chatterton's 3,000 meter masterclass, this will take some topping. Pretty steady start. In terms of qualification times, fastest over the line, Jake Smith and Linton Taylor, both in the 8:24s. Championship record 7:57, set way back in 2002 by Gareth Turnbull of Loughborough. They're already getting on with the women's presentation. Well, they don't hang about here at the BUCS Championship. Well, Vicky Weir picking up the bronze medal as the men's athletes go past them, all of them hoping to emulate her success and beyond. Kate Seary picking up the silver medal. Lovely moment for the two Birmingham athletes. But what about the champion? But a real masterclass at this level from Chatterton. Took it out with 4 laps to go. Nobody responded. Nobody could respond. She ended up taking it by nearly half a lap. Fantastic performance as we get back to the track. This one's stringing out. 2 minutes gone. Jake Smith. He looked very impressive in the heats, did Jake Smith. .824.23 was his time. Took Linton Taylor with him. Gave Linton Taylor every opportunity to come with him too. A couple of Leeds Beckett runners here. We've got Andrew Smith of Leeds Beckett as well as Linton Taylor. They're in the purple and black jerseys. In 3rd and 6th respectively. You can see them both there. And we've got James Gormley of Birmingham in 4th place as well. Got Tom Horton of Sheffield in 5th. But just as in the heats, Jake Smith of Cardiff Met leading this one out. Declan Neary of Brighton is the back marker. Not been cut off yet, but it's a pretty hectic tempo. It's going to be difficult for the rest of the field, especially if Jake Smith keeps this heat on. Mohammed of Solent, he cruised to 8:32.49 in his heat. He's currently in 2nd place. And we've got Andrew Smith there as well in 3rd. Still plenty of this race to go, but the crowd really getting into it. And now it is starting to get strung out. We've got Abdulkani Sharif of St Mary's thinking about making a move as well. He's halfway down the pack. He's just starting to go past people. Tom Horton of Sheffield will be the next victim. They're up to 190 in the men's high jump. Still warming up in the women's. James Gormley of Birmingham starting to respond from Jake Smith's consistent pressure, and here comes Gormley. Will he try and go around Smith here and maybe apply some of the pressure that he's been applying to the rest of the field? Has Jake Smith got enough in the tank to maintain this tempo for the entire race? They'll see 6 laps to go this time. So 1,400 meters, and Smith checks over the right shoulder, and he will see James Gormley, and he'll know that the race is on. Birmingham already a couple of medals in the women's 3,000 meters. Well, James Gormley be able to join that happy throng as well. It's Smith and Gormley from Mohammed, and then Andrew Smith of Leeds Beckett in 4th place. This turning into a very tasty race indeed. When they cross the finish line this time, they'll have 1 kilometre to go. 5 laps of this 200-metre track, and Jake Smith still dictating the pace. But James Gormley, 8:32.34 in qualification for him, looking more than capable of keeping up with Jake Smith of Cardiff Met. Has anybody else got a response? Abdulkani Sharif still looks pretty comfortable, and they're about 30 metres behind. However, with these two turning the screw, where will the response come from? I think it might come from Abdulkani Sharif as he goes into 4th place. Jake Smith and James Gormley have not blinked, and they have increased their lead. Mohammed coming under a little bit of scrutiny from the men behind him. Andrew Smith's there, as is Abdulkani Sharif. As we go into the final 4 laps, Jamie Parkinson of Oxford about half a lap behind. The back marker, we're in number 349, James Hennigan of Cardiff. I'm not sure he'll be lapped, but he's got a lot of work to do if he's going to catch the man in front of him, let alone the leaders. Declan Neary, the man next in his sights, but we're coming round with 3 laps to go. It's still Jake Smith in 1st place, but James Gormley just keeping that distance. Mohammed still in the bronze medal position, but Abdulkani Sharif and Linton Taylor still chasing him down. 500 metres to go. What's been a fascinating display from these two. James Gormley tucked himself into the pack. He checks over the shoulder to see where the chasing pack are. Not close enough to apply any pressure. Now the move comes on from Gormley. He takes the lead for the first time in the race. We suspected this might be the case, and with 400 metres to go, now Jake Smith needs a response for the first time, not just in the race, but in the weekend. And Gormley goes from strength to strength, and Jake Smith starts to look like he's struggling for the first time. Linton Taylor's found the 2nd wind as well. He moves into the bronze medal position, and James Gormley of Birmingham is going to hear the bell, and he could cruise home here to BUCS victory. James Gormley has run a fantastic 3K. Jake Smith is holding on now. And this is as loud as this crowd have been in the entire championship. Jake Smith is now holding on. He could be passed, but it's all about the gold medalist James Gormley in a class of his own. In a class of his own, he laps Hennigan on the finish line, and the BUCS Indoor gold goes to James Gormley. Silver goes to Linton Taylor, and bronze goes to Jake Smith. It's a lifetime best for James Gormley, and a gold medal to boot. What a superb run from Birmingham's James Gormley, and Linton Taylor ran a smoking final 200 to get past Jake Smith. Jake Smith let out, couldn't quite hold on, and he's currently prone on the track. Some remarkable runs there. But James Gormley from Birmingham, the BUCS champion, takes the time to congratulate everybody in the field, but he'll be stood atop the podium with a gold medal and a lifetime best to take back to the West Midlands. Well, that's the men's and women's 3,000 metres over. Second attempt at 190 for Manchester Met's Stephen Jones. Only finals remaining on the track and field now. Next on the track is the women's 400-meter final. And Stephen Jones of Manchester Met has got his third and final attempt at 1.90 m. And away goes Stephen Jones. 190 on the bar, clears it. And he will progress through to the next round. But he cut it fine. Success at 190 after qualifying with 193. Three simultaneous competitions going on in the field then. We've got the men's long jump final and the women's and men's high jump. Next on the track, the women's 400-meter final. Rachel Crawken of Loughborough goes in lane 1. Ellie Ravenscroft of Birmingham in 2. Emma Alderson of Loughborough in 3. Fionn Roberts of Cardiff Met in 4. Yasmin Liverpool of Warwick in 5. And Laura Turley of Chester goes in lane 6. Yasmin Liverpool, the fastest qualifier. The only athlete to run under 56 seconds. She gets a great response as well. She's got a huge fan club here, has the Warwick University athlete. So Yasmin Liverpool, fastest qualifier. I've already seen some qualifying time upsets across these championships. Laura Turley and Rachel Crawken, just 0.03 between those two in the semi-finals. Emma Alderson, another 0.08 behind them as well. So Crawken, Loughborough in 1, Ravenscroft, Birmingham 2, Alderson, Loughborough 3, Roberts, Cardiff Met 4, Liverpool, the favourite, Warwick 5, Turley, Chester 6. So important to get a good start. And Yasmin Liverpool actually a little bit slow out of the blocks, but now she cruises into the back straight and she makes it look so easy. Laura Turley going well for Chester in the outside lane though, as is Rachel Crawken from Loughborough in lane 1. But Turley comes out ahead into the back straight, and if she can get the advantage in lane 1 going into the final lap, then she's in great shape to take gold. Yasmin Liverpool chasing for the first time in the competition. She's got 2 straights and a bend to overcome Laura Turley of Chester, who's currently in pole position to become the BUCS champion. Here comes the onslaught from Loughborough as well, though. This is going to be a race to the line, and Turley from Chester is in pole position. But look, coming around the outside here from Loughborough is Emma Alderson, but she stumbled and fallen, and Liverpool takes it. Oh, it was on a plate for Emma Alderson, but she couldn't make it count. So easy to lose your balance coming round those bank corners. And 55.08 is the time that wins it for Yasmin Liverpool. But heartbreak for Emma Alderson. Rachel Crook and her teammate goes over to offer commiserations, but a huge moment. She could see the line and taste the victory, but there is your BUCS champion, Yasmin Liverpool. Well, drama right to the end here. She's back on her feet and receives the applause of the crowd. But Emma Alderson was 2 seconds away from the top of the podium, but sadly does not finish the women's 400-meter final.
Right, sorry to interrupt these finals that are on in track and on field, but we have two cars that are close to the problem in the car park just to the last wheel. So the owners of that course of BUCS and red photo XXA are in the arena with their big cars.
Pass at 1:93 there for Howard Bell from Edinburgh. Gets that at the second time of asking.
Someone in the arena has lost the watch, and that's been taken to registration. And you put the watch down somewhere.
Third attempt at 1:93. Liam Reveley of Newcastle is out of the competition, unsuccessful with his third and final attempt. Meanwhile, we go to the long jump competition. It is fast and furious here, to say the least. That was Jack Roach of Northumbria. That was his third attempt of the final. Pulls in a 7:29.
Everyone in the arena appreciates the fact that these championships come about with a lot of hard work. That hard work starts in the BUCS office, where that's what I know.
Third attempt from Daniel Ryan of Brunel. Took off miles behind the board there.
But the biggest band of volunteers here are the officials. And the group that come together for these BUCS championships are second to none. Please show your appreciation for all our volunteers, but especially the officials.
First attempt at 1:96. for Birmingham's Jamie Anderson. For Loughborough, Samuel Kogali, third attempt for him. Took off very close to the board. If this is a good jump, it will be big, and it is. The white flag goes up for Samuel Kogali. How big is this going to be? Oh, he likes it. He likes it a lot. It's going to put him into first place. 7:40 for Kogali. At the third attempt, he'll get another 3. There's the women's high jump final about to get underway as well. So 2 simultaneous high jump finals and the long jump final. And the athletes in place ready for the 400 meters. And the medals being awarded to the women's 400 meters. Laura Turney ran a great first lap and led into the final 50 meters. But there's your champion, Yasmin Liverpool. And an orthodox victory for her. As we go back to the long jump, Peter Skiro of Northumbria. I do apologise, it's Alessandro Scianini of Strathclyde. Third attempt for him. I think he's overstepped there. Yes, the red flag goes up. Manchester Met's Stephen Jones goes in the high jump. First attempt at 1:96 for Jones. Strides in and clips it on the way through. So 2 more attempts at that height for Jones. Third jump in the long jump competition for Callum Henderson from Edinburgh. As the whistle goes to call the finalists to the line in the men's 400 meters. Matthew Overall goes for Chichester in lane 1. Jack Hocking of Birmingham in 2. Ellis Greattrex of Loughborough in 3. Krishawn Aiken, Glasgow in 4. Frisia Gardner, Loughborough in 5. Ben Claridge of Bath in 6. Claridge and Gardner both under 48 seconds in the semi-finals. Ellis Greattrex, superb semi-final for him to take the victory. Wasn't the favourite in his semi-final. Has he got another trick up his sleeve? And away we go, Krishawn Aiken of Glasgow. A little bit slow out of the blocks, but accept him to accelerate in this back straight. Gardner going well in 5, Claridge going well in 6, and also Jack Hocking for Birmingham in lane 2. Could he put a spanner in the works for the expected medalist? Now this race for the inside line is going to be absolutely massive, and Krishawn Aiken wins it and slows Gardner right up. He'll lose momentum. Watch out for the finish of Ben Claridge as well. He came on strong in the semi-final, and he goes past Gardner to take second second place. It's going to be Aiken for Glasgow leading into the final bend, but watch out for Claridge. Here he comes, Aiken holding strong. Will it be Claridge or will it be Hocking? A massive finish, a massive race for the medals. Aiken takes it. To my eyes, Hocking of Birmingham takes second, and it'll be a photo for third. Oh, what an incredible race. Jack Hocking practically dived over the line. But from the moment he got the inside line for the second 200, Sean Aiken looked every inch a champion. Well, what a performance. What a fantastic race. 196 just been cleared at the second attempt as well. That was Birmingham's Jamie Anderson. But we seem to have medics on the field of play after every sprint. We'll await confirmation of that. What we do know is Sean Aiken is the champion. I believe Hocking just about got third, and then it'll be between Gardner and Claridge for the bronze medal. Gardner lost so much momentum. Essentially, that challenge for the inside line probably cost him a medal, certainly cost him the gold, but Sean Aiken, fantastic championship run from him as we go to the early stages of the women's high jump competition. There'll be a short break in proceedings now before we go into the 200-meter final. Could be just as exciting as the 400s. Still have 800s, 1500s and the relays to come on the track.
So Sean Aiken's victory confirmed. In second place was Jack Hocking. Well done, Jack.
Received confirmation that Jack Hocking did pick up silver, and Ben Claridge won that bun fight for the bronze medal. So Rhea Gardner, after being the second fastest qualifier, missed out on the podium altogether. But a great 400-meter final. Still the 200 to come. And we're going to follow the progress of the field events that are going on as well.
Once they have completed their final preparations, we will introduce the finalists to you.
Ben Clark from Sheffield, third attempt at 196, clears it. Nicely done by Ben Clark. Here's Lauren Evans from Cardiff. Doesn't quite get it right, gets the red flag. That was her third attempt at 172, so that's the competition over for Cardiff's Lauren Evans. Back to the men's competition. Last chance at 196 for Stephen Jones. Cleared 193 at the third attempt. Does he save his best till last this time as well? In old money, this is just under 6'5". Here we go. Stephen Jones, last attempt, and just clips it. So that's the end of the contest for Manchester Met's Stephen Jones. Over in the women's competition, this is Hannah Tapley of Cardiff Met. First attempt at 175, not this time. Back to the track, it's finals time again, and will the women's 200 meters have anywhere near the drama of the women's 4? Melissa Roberts, Cardiff Met, goes in 1. Paige Fairclough of Hertfordshire goes in 2. Amy Odenaya of Cardiff Met goes in 3. Darcy Kuipers of Brunel in 4. Chasing the 60-200 sprint double is Hayley Mills in 5. And Jasmine Moss goes in lane 6. 24.39 for her in qualification. In fact, this really is anybody's race if you go on the semi-final times. The whistle goes and they're called to the line ahead of the women's 200-meter final. Coming straight off the back of those 400 finals, both the men's and women's races absolutely superb. Expecting similar drama in this one. One hot lap of the track and one BUCS champion at the end of it. Melissa Roberts, lane 1. Paige Fairclough, lane 2. Amy Odenaya, lane 3. Darcy Kuipers, lane 4. Hayley Mills, lane 5. Jasmine Moss, lane 6. Incidentally, Melissa Roberts is the one who picked up the fastest runner-up time, but she actually went quicker than both Paige Fairclough and Amy Odenaya. Just 0.04 slower than Jasmine Moss, who goes in lane 6 for Northumbria. Well, keep your eye on the outside lanes. Hayley Mills of Nottingham and Jasmine Moss of Northumbria. Mills off to an absolute flyer down the back straight, putting herself in pole position for the sprint double here at the BUCS Indoor Championships. Hayley Mills from Nottingham around the bend, but Melissa Roberts from Cardiff Met going well. But there's only one winner, and it's Hayley Mills, double BUCS champion in 2019. Stops the clock in 23.50. That's a new championship record. The record at 23.68 has stood since 2017, but Hayley Mills smashes it with 23.50. A second gold of the weekend, and Hayley Mills is the undisputed queen of BUCS Indoor Sprint. We're up to 1.99 m in the men's high jump. They're over to 1.75 in the women's. Confirmation from the timekeepers that 23.50 has actually been rounded down to 23.49. Fantastic performance from Hayley Mills. Ben Claridge picking up his bronze medal for that fantastic men's 400-meter race. What a contest. Ben Claridge keeps so much in the tank for that kick finish. Hocking picks up silver. Krishawn Aiken. What a win that was. Brilliant first lap. Won it in the opening 200. So physical, forced his way into that inside line. Gardner stood no chance at all. Now we'll be bringing our attention shortly back to the track, the men's 200-meter final. We've still got the 4x200s to come as well. That was Harum Scarum stuff yesterday in the semi-finals, or the qualifiers, should I say. Over in the women's high jump, seem to be struggling with 1.78. We've still got Morgan Lake to come. The BUCS record currently stands at 1.87. The British record currently a 1.97. She holds that equal with Katarina Johnson-Thompson. And if today goes according to plan, both of those will be broken. Failure at 2.02 there for Jamie Anderson of Birmingham. They're getting in to the deep stages of that men's high jump. Next to attempt Ryan Webb of Birmingham City. Just casting my eyes out to the start area of this men's 200. No sign of Luke Durrell at the moment. Oh, in fact, he's just off the track centre, adjusting his spikes. So we will have a full grid of 6 sprinters in this men's 200-meter final. Luke Durrell, the second fastest qualifier. 21.38 for the Brunelian. 21.04. set by Jordan Kirby Polidor of Loughborough in 2013 is the championship record. The women's 200-meter record just went. Hayley Mills took 0.18 of a second out of it. 0.19 when the time was amended. 21.49 the official. I'm having what can only be described as a dressing down from the official timers. for saying that 21.50 was rounded down to 21.49. That is incorrect, and I will take my punishment. The unofficial time was 21.50, but the official time, 21.49, is the new championship record. So this is the sound of my wrists being slapped. And we'll concentrate on this men's 200-meter final. Alex Haydock-Wilson of Loughborough goes in lane 1, 21.54 in the semi-final for him. Keno Elliott Paris Samuel of St Mary's goes in 2, 21.76 for the man from Twickenham. Joe Ferguson, Sheffield Hallam in 3, 21.63. Birmingham City University's Jordan Broome, 21.41, goes in 4. Luke Durrell of Brunel, 21.38 in 5. And the fastest qualifier, James Gladman of Bath, goes in 6. And we do get away cleanly in the men's 200-meter final. James Gladman of Bath going well, as is Luke Durrell. Jordan Broome slipping back, but Keno Elliott Paris Samuel of St Mary's tearing up lane 2 as well. How will they come off the bank? Luke Durrell of Brunel in first place. Jordan Broome just behind him. James Gladman turning it on. It's going to be tight on the line. James Gladman is the 200-meter champion. Pips Luke Durrell with a well-timed dip. 21.11 is the unofficial time, but James Gladman is the champion and really needed to dig in lane 6. Jordan Broome and Luke Durrell pushed him all the way, but 21.11 fast enough for the champion, and there he is. He'll be stood atop the podium alongside that man Luke Durrell. With 15 meters to go, 10 meters even. That could have gone either way. And they'll both be back on track in the men's 4x200 meter relays too. Not time for them to even celebrate those successes. Here is a first attempt then. 181 for Morgan Lake. That's not in the script. Well, as expected, Morgan Lake entering the competition very late. So we go back to the men's competition. The long jumps going on as well. We've got attempt number 5 just out of shot for Callum Henderson of Edinburgh. Gets the white flag. Here's Marcus Morton. Robert Gordon clips the bar at 2:02. He'll have one more attempt at that height. Second attempt for Morgan Lake at 181. The applause reverberating around the EIS. It's for the men's long jump, but Morgan Lake needs to clear this to get a score in the competition, and the red flag goes up. She does not look happy at all. 181 should be well within her wheelhouse. She jumped 197 on the 26th of January. It's just 3 weeks ago. Final attempt for Morgan Lake. All the talk at the start of the day was an attempt at the British record, but she needs to clear 181 first. Otherwise, she's out of the competition with a 0. That was a third and final attempt at 2:02 from Jamie Anderson of Birmingham. And this now is a real pressure attempt for Morgan Lake. Third and final attempt for Morgan Lake. World Cup silver outdoors in London in 2018. She jumped 193 that day. She also jumped 193 to get Commonwealth silver in Gold Coast in 2018. And she clears 181. Well, a huge sigh of relief, not just from her, but around this arena as well. Marcus Morton from Robert Gordon will be up next in the high jump, but now it's time for the medal presentation for the women's 200 meters. Hayley Mills gets a mini standing ovation in the crowd from the University of Nottingham faithful. 2 gold medals and 2 championship records. That is a good weekend's work. Ryan Webb of Birmingham City there. The 800 meters is the next event on the track. That'll be getting underway in about 6 minutes' time. Just the finals to come. (2.05 is the height on the bar in this men's high jump. This is Ryan Webb from Birmingham City, steadying himself in the men's long jump. It's a 5th attempt for Loughborough's Sam Kojali. But here comes Ryan Webb, first attempt at 2.05 meters. Oh, very nice indeed. Championship record 2.22 meters, so some way to go, but puts himself in a great position in the long jump pit. Alessandro Sciannini of Strathclyde goes for his 5th attempt. And his teammate were in 7:12. Lewis Maguire fails in his first attempt at 2:05. Morgan Lake, first attempt at 186. Clips the bar again. Championship record currently stands at 187. Will Grimsey from Loughborough, first attempt at 2:05. Oh, just catches it. Looked for a second like it was going to stay up. Second attempt at 186 here for Morgan Lake. She's already cleared 183. So is pretty much guaranteed the BUCS Indoor Championship. Here she goes, 186, clears it, clips it, but it stays up. Her next attempt will be for a new championship record. Second attempt at 2:05, cleared by Lewis Maguire. Strathclyde man, clean as you like through there. The athletes are making their way onto the track for the women's 800 meters. But before that, we'll get Rory Dwyer's second attempt at 2:05. Whole crowd really getting behind these jump athletes, and he clears it this time, clips it, it stays up. And this competition is alive. The racers are in position for the women's 800 meters final. Anna Clark of Bath goes in lane 1. Tamsin McGraw, Sheffield Hallam in lane 2. Isabel Ives of Bath in lane 3. Hannah Cameron, Robert Gordon in 4. Emily Simpson, Sheffield Hallam in 5. And Isabel Boffey of Birmingham in lane 6. But now we go back to the high jump, as Morgan Lake has her first attempt at a championship record 190. First attempt down, 2 to go. So back to the track. If during this race Morgan Lake does go back to the line, we will cover her jump as it is a championship record attempt. But Anna Clark in 1, Tamsin McGraw 2, Isabel Ives 3, Hannah Cameron 4, Emily Simpson 5, and Isabel Boffey in 6. 4 laps of the track. First past the post is the BUCS Indoor champion. Isabel Boffey of Birmingham, the fastest qualifier by some considerable distance. They'll have to go around this first bank before reaching the point where they can all join the inside lane. Emily Simpson wants to get herself to the front, but Isabel Boffey can't quite get there. So the first mini battle is won by Emily Simpson. Plenty going on around the place. We're getting to the latter stages of the high jump in the men's competition, and we're expecting a new championship record from Morgan Lake as she derobes for her second attempt at 190. 2.5 laps to go in the women's 800, but Morgan Lake prepares herself for 190. She's cleared 197 already this season, just 3 weeks ago, but she's found it tough going today. Attempt 2 at 190 for Morgan Lake. Frustration boils over, and we go back to the track. Isabel Boffey leads at the halfway point. 2:06.50 was her qualification time. Tamsin McGraw of Sheffield Hallam was the second fastest qualifier. Anna Clark and Emily Simpson had just 0.4 of a second between them. So Izzy Boffey turns the screw now and leads into the back straight for the penultimate time. They'll hear the bell this time, and it pretty much turns into a 200-meter sprint. Isabel Ives in behind her. There's a good battle for the bronze medal as well between Hannah Cameron and Emily Simpson, but Isabel Boffey of Birmingham continuing a fantastic day for Birmingham University in these middle distance events. Anna Clark in second place. But now she just has to consolidate that silver medal, because gold is going to Izzy Boffey. She was the fastest qualifier, and she could go faster again in this final. The championship record is 2:05.32. She's not going to beat it, but she is going to take gold. It's silver to Ives and bronze to Sheffield Hallam's Emily Simpson. But that was a dominant performance from Isabel Boffey, and she is the Indoor National BUCS Champion 2019. Third and final attempt at a championship record here for Morgan Lake. Now she wants the clapping. Now she wants the rhythm. She passed her first height of 183 on the last go. Is she going to leave it late here? 190 on the bar. A new BUCS indoor record. Not today. Not today for Morgan Lake. She is the BUCS champion, but I think that shot tells us everything we need to know about how this afternoon has gone for the joint British record holder, and that is still what she is. 197 is the target. She equaled Katarina Johnson-Thompson's record that she set in February 2015. But we will have to wait a little bit longer to see Morgan Lake progress to being the best high jumper that Great Britain has ever produced. Into the deep end in the men's championship then. 2:08 is on the bar. And Ryan Webb of Strathclyde is going to be the first to tackle it. First attempt for him. Oh no. Oh no, I thought he'd done it. Egg on my face. Next to tackle that height, Lewis Maguire. But Lewis Maguire, 2:08 with the first attempt.
Okay, next up on the track, the final of the men's 800 meters.
Rory Dwyer, first attempt at 2 meters and 8 centimeters for the Loughborough man, gets the crowd on his side and embarks for his first attempt at this height.
Well, we have a few minutes before we choose start time of this final 1600.
For Nottingham Trent, Tony Adema-Wogan clips it with the right heel on the way through. The athletes making their way onto the track for the men's 800 meters final. Sam Roberts-Nash and Finley Bigg, they'll start in lanes 1 and 6, but they're probably the favourites for this one. Men's 800-meter final coming up shortly, but let's keep our eyes on Loughborough for the time being. Will Grimsey. First attempt for him at 2:08. Oh, took that one off with his hand. 2 more attempts though for Grimsey. Not the end of the world, but back to the start line. Men's 800-meter final. In lane 1, Finley Bigg from Chichester. In 2, James Downing from Brunel. Alex Bottrell of Leeds Beckett goes in 3. Harry Russell of Sheffield in 4. Thomas Randolph of St Mary's goes in 5. And from City University Birmingham, Sam Roberts-Nash goes in 6. Championship record 148.58 set by Guy Learmouth back in 2011. Four laps of this 200-meter track for this BUCS Indoor Championship. Yes, 2 of these men went under 152 in qualification. Finley Bigg, who starts in the inside lane, and Sam Roberts-Nash, who starts in the outside. And no surprise to see this one starting at a pretty hectic pace before it settles in after the first lap. Alex Bottrell will lead after 200 meters. And keep your eye on Thomas Randolph here, because he does not want to get boxed in at the moment. Sam Roberts-Nash is on the shoulder of the leader, essentially blocking Thomas Randolph's path, because if he wants to make a move, he's going to have to go around the outside, even more so now because he's boxed in front and back. As they come round the home straight for the second time. Down around the outside here, James Downing from Brunel wants a piece of the action. 2 laps to go. Alex Bottrell just stepped on him a little bit, so Roberts-Nash, he makes his move, coils himself up, ready to increase the pace for these final 250 meters. The penultimate time around the straight, and here's the move from Finley Bigg, the first we've seen of him, and Sam Roberts-Nash responds to take the lead into the penultimate bend. Sam Roberts-Nash asks the question, who's got the answer? Alex Bottrell is the man who goes round the outside. Has anyone got a kick to come? Thomas Randolph from St Mary's moves into 3rd place, and Sam Roberts-Nash starts to lose pace. Alex Bottrell leads into the final straight. It's Thomas Randolph of St Mary's who will pick up silver, but the gold medal, the champion, is Alex Bottrell. It was a bun fight for 3rd. James Downing was involved. Sam Roberts-Nash might have got there, but there's your gold and silver medalists. Bottrell led for the first 2 laps, then really took it home in the final 100 meters. We thought Randolph would kick, managed to escape the box, and he'll be leaving with a silver medal. 152.37 the time on the clock. But the time doesn't matter, just the championship. And that belongs to Leeds Beckett's Alex Bottrell. Well, down on the track, they don't even have time to get their breath back. This is the medal presentation for the women's 800 metres. What a response from Rory Dwyer as he goes over 2:08 at the third time of asking. This is the medal presentation for the high jump competition. Morgan Lake picks up the gold medal. Cleared 186 to win that championship. Just 1 centimetre off the BUCS record. And it's another gold medal for her, but she has her eyes on the world stage. And many of us here believe it'll only be a matter of time until she really announces herself at that level as well. Already World Cup silver medals, Commonwealth silver medals. Incredibly talented high jumper, but really a heptathlete, and she'll join the production line, it seems, of world-class heptathletes that we have. But in the meantime, back to the men's high jump. Ryan Webb, with his first attempt at 2.11 meters here. We'll put all our concentration on this event for the time being. This is the final field event. We still have some great track events to come. Men's and women's 1500s and the relays to close proceedings. Ryan Webb clears it, first time. And that puts him into first place in the competition. Lays down a gauntlet. Lewis Maguire of Strathclyde, his first attempt at 2.11. Yes, please. Rory Dwyer knows he needs to clear this now, as Ryan Webb and Lewis Maguire have, both at the first time of asking. Medals at stake here in the men's high jump. Here's Rory Dwyer. Clips it on the way through. It was close as well. Groan goes up around the arena here at the English Institute of Sport. The next race on the track, the women's 1500. They're just lining up on the far side, 9 in the final. And because of the distance, we'll be able to flit in between the high jump and the 1500 meters. So Rory Dwyer, Lewis Maguire and Ryan Webb, the only jumpers left in the competition. That 1500 meter women's final, 3 or 4 minutes away here in the dying embers of the BUCS National Championships. So it'll be a second attempt coming up for Rory Dwyer. There's a ticking clock next to the mat telling him exactly how long he's got before he needs to begin his jump. He's got 90 seconds. It's his second attempt, so he'll have 1 to go after this. 2:22 is the championship record. Ray Bobronitsky of Edinburgh set that back in 2011. 800-meter runners are receiving their medals. Another brilliant race. We have been spoiled with the quality of racing this weekend. Alex Botterill, though, in a class of his own in the 800, really. Rory Dwyer of Loughborough has got a bronze medal in his back pocket unless he can clear 2 meters 11. Ryan Webb, Lewis Maguire have already gone clear with their first attempt. And as we prepare to start the 1500 meters over on the far side of the track, Rory Dwyer looks to get the crowd going. Here he goes, Rory Dwyer, second attempt at 2 meters 11. Catches it with his backside this time, so he'll have 1 more shot at 2:11. Otherwise, it'll be a bronze medal for him as Ryan Webb and Lewis Maguire compete for gold. This is the women's 1500-meter final. Danny Chattenton, fresh off her 800-meter success, looking for the middle distance double. Isabel Dye goes for Cambridge. Isabel Rodriguez of East Anglia, Rose Johnson of Loughborough, Zoe Bates of Aberdeen, Kirsty Walker of Loughborough, Ellen Newton in the pink of Nottingham Trent, Emily Thompson for Birmingham. We've had a great day in these middle distance events today, and Natalie Bretherton of Bristol makes up the field of 9. Isabel Dye in those Cambridge colours will lead them round the corner for the first time. Tucked in behind her, Rose Johnson of Loughborough. These 1500 races over before you realise they've got started. Such is the pace on this 200-metre indoor track. Isabel Dye leading them at the moment. It's a bunch race as well, so we'll expect a sprint finish, perhaps from a couple of laps out as they realise how comfortable they are with the pace. Danny Chattenton went with 4 laps to go in the 3000 and nobody could hang with her. Has she managed to shake that race out of her legs, and can she get the middle distance double? Third and final attempt for Rory Dwyer of 2 meters 11 as they've got 5 laps to go into the final kilometre of the women's 1500 final. Dwyer just goes through his processes. He's got 50 seconds left to complete this jump to stay in the competition. He starts to get the crowd going as the 1500 runners go round the back straight. They'll see 4 laps to go this time. But let's bring our concentration back to Rory Dwyer of Loughborough, currently in 3rd place. Needs this to stay alive in the competition. Can't quite get there. It's a bronze medal for Dwyer. And Chatterton has moved to the front in the 1500. That's ominous for everybody else. Emily Thompson of Birmingham currently in second place. And Izzy Dye of Cambridge sat there in third. This one being run at quite a steady pace, dare I say, but Chatterton out in front. This is around about the point where she started to turn the screw earlier. And it's actually Rose Johnson of Loughborough who goes to join that group at the front. 600 metres to go. And like clockwork, Chatterton, it's like she crosses the line and then she decides to go. She increases the pace. And Birmingham and Loughborough go with her. That is now a very definite three at the front. Rose Johnson joining Emily Thompson. And Danny Chatterton at the front of this 1500 metre final. 2:14 is on the bar in the men's high jump. And Ryan Webb is going to have his first go. But Chatterton winds it up again, but Rose Johnson and Thompson respond, and just in behind them as well, Izzy Rodriguez of East Anglia. She's made that 3 of 4, so the race for the medals very much alive. Are we going to have time to take the jump of Ryan Webb? His first attempt at 2:14. We're going to hear the bell this time, but Ryan Webb going for 2:14. His first attempt fails it, but now the move comes on from Emily Thompson. She'll take the lead into the bell. Danny Chatterton is going to have to play catch-up, and Rose Johnson is coming under some scrutiny for that bronze medal position as well. It's been a great day in the middle distance races for Birmingham, and Emily Thompson looks like she's going to continue that success. Danny Chatterton gives chase, and Rose Johnson is in third place. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, Birmingham, Imperial, Loughborough, but what order is it going to be in? Emily Thompson strides home for Birmingham. It's a second medal of the day for Chatterton, but this one will be silver, and Rose Johnson for Loughborough picks up a bronze. Izzy Rodriguez gave it everything she could, but she misses out on the podium, agonizingly close, and Izzy Dye of Cambridge makes up the top 5. But there's your champion, Emily Thompson from Birmingham, will stand atop the podium on what has been a fantastic day for Birmingham in these middle distance track events. 2 golds, a silver and a bronze. First attempt at 2:14 for Lewis Maguire. Can't clear it. So him and Ryan Webb will go again at this height. They've guaranteed gold and silver between them, but the order still to be decided. Loughborough's Rory Dwyer cleared 2:08, failed on 2:11, so he'll pick up bronze. Well, there is Lewis Maguire. And Ryan Webb, the only 2 remaining in the competition. The next race on the track, there'll be a short break before we have the men's 1500 metres. Hope you're enjoying the live coverage. There is plenty of great BUCS sport to come. 27th of March is Big BUCS Wednesday, the team sport finals. There'll be 14 sports. Not all of them will be broadcast, but why not get yourself along? Follow BUCS Sport on the regular social media outlets, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and some other ones that the youngsters are into that I'm too old to enjoy. For all the information there. The live sports will be announced. It's at the University of Nottingham. Great facilities there, and really easy to get to as well. So no excuse for not joining us on Big BUCS Wednesday. Second attempt at 2:14 for Ryan Webb. This would put him in pole position to pick up the gold medal here. In comes Webb, 2:14. Not this time. So one more attempt for him, two more attempts for Lewis Maguire, who on countback is currently in the gold medal position. Still 3 races to come on the track as well. The men's 1500 final, and then a couple of mouth-watering 4x200 meter relays to finish the day. Lewis Maguire, second attempt for the man from Strathclyde, 2:14 on the bar. Finds his rhythm. Oh, nearly so close. Got the torso over, didn't quite time the legs. And the 2 remaining athletes, Ryan Webb and Lewis Maguire, will have one more crack at 2:14. As well as Big Bucks Wednesday. You can join us on most Wednesdays for BUCS Super Rugby. No match this week, but next week we're up in East Midlands for Loughborough versus Cardiff. Match with increased significance because the winner puts themselves in pole position to get into the playoffs. The final will be live from Twickenham on the 10th of April. Rose Johnson picks up her bronze medal for a brilliant performance in the women's 1500 meters. Danny Chatterton next on the podium. The silver for her to go with the gold that she won in the 3000. Emily Thompson in a class of her own. I can imagine both her and the Birmingham coaches will be delighted with how it's gone on the track for Birmingham today. But let's get back to the high jump. Ryan Webb, final attempt, and he's nailed it. Oh, he wobbles the bar, but it stays up, and that is 2:14 clear. Ryan Webb becomes the gold medal favourite, and now Lewis Maguire has one attempt to stay in the competition, or he'll be leaving with the silver. Men's 1500 meter final underway. Couple of St Mary's jerseys in there. Adam Moore wearing number 698 goes for St Mary's. Joseph Tuffin for Birmingham, who bet against either of the Birmingham finalists getting a medal. Blake Moore of St Mary's in that blue and white stripe. Both St Mary's men in the middle of the pack at the moment. Matthew Williams of Cardiff Met. David Malarkey leads Beckett. Dom Brown goes for Sheffield. Conor McLean of Glasgow. Kieran Riley for Loughborough. And Jethro McGraw of Birmingham make up the field. 9 finalists in total. Here is the final attempt to stay in the competition. 2:14, not this time. Lewis Maguire bows out at 2:14. He picks up silver. Rory Dwyer of Loughborough picks up the bronze. But clearing 2:14 with his final jump, Ryan Webb is the high jump champion, and we can put all our concentration into this men's 1500 meter final, the final middle distance event of a fantastic weekend of indoor athletics here at the BUCS Nationals. As always, the English Institute of Sport of Sheffield has been a fantastic host for a games of this stature. Dom Brown of Sheffield leads them into the final kilometre. Jethro McGraw on his shoulder, and Blake Moore of St Mary's currently in 3rd place. Conor McLean of Glasgow, they're in 4th, and perched in 5th place Kieran Riley, who's got himself boxed in. But I'd imagine as the pace begins to increase. This one's going to string out. Adam Moore of St Mary's. Looked like he was going to move up the pack there. Speaking of moving up the pack, we've got McGraw's Birmingham teammate Joseph Tuffin going around the outside. He wants a piece of the action. Dominic Brown winds it up with 4 laps to go. 800 meters of this one remaining. As a bunch race as well. And fingers crossed this will be as exciting as pretty much every race we've had here today. But the pace noticeably increasing, and the man who's doing that is Dominic Brown. Jethro McGraw, 3:52.55 in the qualification. Only Dom Brown was quicker than him, and there's the early move. Jethro McGraw blinks first, and with 3 laps to go, now the group starts to spring out. Now the pace starts to increase, and Dominic Brown and Jethro McGraw look to take it away from everybody else. Towards the back of the pack, Matthew Williams looks like he wants to join the party as well. Blake Moore of St Mary's currently in 3rd place as the lead goes back in the direction of Sheffield. Dominic Brown goes to the front, and it's Jethro McGraw's turn to respond. David Malarkey moves into 3rd place as well. And Dom Brown from Sheffield really stretches out this lead with 250 meters to go. Looks fresh as well. Takes the bell first. Here's the response from Jethro McGraw. Kieran Riley of Loughborough moves into 3rd place. And who's kept the most in the tank? Is there a twist in the tail of this final middle distance race? Dominic Brown looks so comfortable out there. There's 100 meters between him and the gold medal. 80 meters between him and the championship. Kieran Riley taking on Jethro McGraw. It's going to be a real race for the silver and bronze, but the gold goes to Sheffield's Dominic Brown. The silver goes to St Mary's Blake Moore, and Kieran Riley holds on to take bronze. Jethro McGraw just misses out, having featured in the top 2 for so much of the race. But complete control from Dominic Brown. He's the BUCS champion. As we go back to the high jump, the gold already in the pocket. But Ryan Webb wants more. 2:17 on the bar for him. So that ends the individual races on the track. And we just have the relays to come, so we can put all our concentration on this man here. 2:17. They'll have their medal presentations coming up, but we've got the women's 4x200. Exeter, Leeds, Beckett, Birmingham, East London, Cardiff, Met and Brunel. And then the men's 4x200, Sheffield, Hallam, Sheffield, East London, Cardiff, Met, Strathclyde and Loughborough. East London disqualified, then reinstated yesterday. But the debrief already begins. All 3 medalists in the shot there. But the gold medal, the championship, staying right here in Sheffield. .90 seconds on the second attempt for the champion in waiting. 2:17 is on the bar. 2:22 is the championship record. And that counting clock telling him how long he's got before his next attempt has to be underway. Ticks to a minute. Ryan Webb. Coming from downtown this time as well is Webb. Still a full house in the stands here. And all of them getting behind this man, Ryan Webb. Second attempt at 2:17. Ryan Webb. Oh, he knew he was close that time as well. Just a timing issue. He'll have one more attempt at it, will Webb. And that clock starts to tick. You can just see it there with 3 minutes. And he'll have one more bite at the cherry. So you've got a little bit of time to go and make yourself a cup of tea, because we've got one more attempt from Ryan Webb. And the women's 4x200 will begin in around about 2 minutes' time.
Right, down here is a very important person. Her name is Sandra White. She has been involved in BUCS and British University sports since 2004. And basically at the moment, I get to my own back for the surprise I got last night. She's been an official for British athletics for 40 years. She is a grade 1 field judge, a national athletics announcer. He was last coordinator for British Athletics and the official secretary for the British Athletics League. On top of this, Sandra has also been a volunteer at the Olympics, and she works tirelessly with the City of Sheffield Athletics team. She ensures to train up officials both from level 1 up to level 4 officials into management roles. She spends hours volunteering her time, organising athletics meets, and enhancing students' sporting experience. She has led the official recruitment for a number of years to this event, ensuring every BUCS athletic event has all the key people to make it happen. She's been an incredible asset to university sport over the year, and we know athletics has massively benefited from her contribution. So a BUCS Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Sandra White.
Well, just out of shot, Sandra's receiving her Lifetime Achievement Award for services to BUCS and beyond.
Thanks for all the support that you've given me from the time I started back in about 2001. It was you who brought me to these championships for the first time in 2005. Thank you very much indeed.
And due to that presentation, Ryan Webb finds himself with another minute on the clock. The crowd get behind him. His third and final attempt at 2:17. The gold medal already in the bag, but this will put the icing on the cake. 2:17, third attempt, not quite. And even with the championship and the gold medal confirmed, the frustration still gets the better of him. Great day for Webb. Clears 2:14, the only man to do so. And there is your BUCS Indoor Champion 2019. So the field events complete and just 2 track events remaining. Next up, the women's 4x200 meter relay. Great way to finish proceedings. All of these teams have already come through a qualification process. That was done on time, not position. So there is no doubt that we have the 6 fastest teams on the track in both the men's and women's as the sun starts to shine through here. Early evening in Sheffield. 5:25 is the time. And even with races still to come, I think it's safe to say that this has been an absolutely brilliant championships. Part of a bigger weekend. But if there's been more of a spectacle anywhere across the 8 sports in the 6 venues here in the sporting city of Sheffield, I'll be very surprised indeed. National records have tumbled, championship records too, but the one that we expected still stands. That's what makes this so fascinating, such an enthralling sport, and why we've got so many people here in so many positions who've been involved for many, many years. So the 2 races remaining, the women's and men's 4x200 meters. Exeter go in lane 1. They were the 6th fastest qualifiers, 1:46.91. Outside them in lane 2, Leeds Beckett, 1:45.05. Birmingham have had a remarkable day in the middle distance races. They go in lane 3, 1:43.22 was their time. That was the 3rd fastest qualifier. East London, renowned for their sprinters. They go in lane 4, 1:44.58 for them. Cardiff Metropolitan, the favourites from King Coyd, the only team under 1:40 in the heats, 1:39.29. And Brunel on the outside in lane 6, 1:42.59 for them. The final gold of the championships in the women's competition, the women's 4x200 meter relay. Exeter in 1, Beckett in 2, Birmingham 3, East London 4, Cardiff Met 5, Brunel 6. Cardiff Met a little bit slow out of the blocks. Brunel going incredibly well in lane 6. They all take their positions in their lanes, ready for the changeover. They'll go into lane 1, halfway around the 2nd lap. So it's Brunel from Cardiff Met in the first leg, but Cardiff Met coming through and they'll take the lead. How will the changeover be? It's a clean changeover, and that's what it's going to take to come home in this 4x200 relay. thought we'd lost a team for a second. It was a terrible changeover with Birmingham. One athlete ending up flat on her face. We'll see if that ends in a disqualification, but it's not affected the front of the race. Cardiff Met have opened up a 15-metre gap over Brunel as we reach the halfway point. Here we go, leg 3. The changeover's good and clean for Cardiff. Brunel in second place, Leeds Beckett in third, East London in fourth, Birmingham in fifth, Exeter in sixth, but Cardiff Met taking a stranglehold of this 4x200 metre relay, as we expected they might. The championship record is 1:37.82, set by Brunel. Are we going to be anywhere near that? Cardiff Met just need to keep the baton in their hand and they'll be the BUCS champions. It's another clean changeover, and this is nothing more than a victory dance here for Cardiff Met. Brunel in silver medal position, Leeds Beckett in bronze, but here come East London. Could they get themselves on the podium? Cardiff Met around the final bend into the home straight. It's not going to be a championship record, and nearly tied up then. Oh, a little wobble round the straight, but it won't matter because Cardiff Met are the champions. Brunel pick up silver, East London bronze, Birmingham finish in fourth place. It's fifth for Beckett and sixth for Exeter. But 1:39.35 to go with their qualification time of 1:39.29, running on the limit for 2 races. And that results in 4 gold medals, and Cardiff Met being the 4x200 metre women's champions. Brunel second from start to finish. Monster effort from East London. They were well behind in fourth place at one point, made up about 40 metres in total. They'll stand on the podium and pick up the bronze medals. And just looking down there at the Birmingham team, there are a few tears down there after a disappointing changeover, but everyone's on their feet. And they all live to race another day. So Cardiff Met, the gold medalists, Brunel silver, and East London bronze. Lining up for the final race of these championships, the men's 4x200 metre relay will draw the curtain down on the Indoor Nationals 2019. Still a full house here to watch it as well. Both Sheffield universities represented in this one, and just 0.04 between them in terms of qualification as well. In the meantime, we're going to be having the high jump presentation. Webb picking up gold. Once they get through this melee of athletes making their way out onto the track. This is the medal presentation for the men's high jump.
So can I have those 3 teams presentation, please? So the winners, team for Cardiff Met, Brunel, East London, and presentation, please. We have the official results. So we come to our final of his 2019 BUCS Indoor Athletics Championships. Once again, it's a huge pleasure to work for you at these championships. Lining up on the start.
The final race of the meet is the men's 4x200 meter relay final. Sheffield Hallam in lane 1, qualification time of 1:29.58. Sheffield University in 2, 1:29.62 for them. East London go in 3. Remember, they were disqualified, then reinstated after an appeal. 1:29.15 was their qualification time. Cardiff Met, they've just won the women's relay. Can they repeat that success in the final race of the championships? They qualified in 1:29.40. Strathclyde in 5, the fastest qualifiers, the only team under 1:29. It was 1:28.97 for them. And then Loughborough in lane 6, 1:29.11. Now, usually we're used to teams maybe taking a round off in the qualification. However, this was done on time, not position. So everyone was running on their limit. Changeovers are going to play a massive part, and also getting the lead at the halfway point so you can get in that inside lane and not have to run any additional meters. This genuinely is anyone's race. They're called to their marks. Remember, Hallam in 1, Sheffield 2, East London 3, Cardiff Met 4, Strathclyde 5, Loughborough 6. Final race of the championship is underway. Loughborough getting off to a flyer, as are East London in lane 3. Watch Strathclyde in lane 5, though. The only team to go under 1:29 in the qualifiers, and they're in pole position to change over first here. But Loughborough with a great final straight. How clean will these changeovers be? Oh, it's great for Strathclyde, and they take the advantage into leg 2. Loughborough now with some catching up to do. Cardiff Met going strong in lane 4, and here comes Sheffield in lane 2 as well. This is still anybody's race, but Loughborough dropping into 3rd place as we go into lane 1, ready to get to the halfway point. It's going to be Strathclyde from Cardiff Met, from Loughborough, but UEL finishing strongly. Oh, was there a cut-off there? Will there be a steward's inquiry in that changeover between Loughborough and UEL? Strathclyde still in 1st place, being chased down by Cardiff Met. Loughborough in 3rd, UEL in 4th, but now Sheffield putting some pressure on, looking to get into that top 4 and maybe a medal. Into the final changeover. There's so much energy in that changeover zone. Strathclyde from Cardiff Met. Loughborough changing over, having to take side steps around the Cardiff Met sprinter, who surely has to take a step to one side there. Strathclyde romping home, but Loughborough going into 2nd place. UEL putting the pressure on as well. This is going to the wire. Loughborough could take this on the inside. Strathclyde from Loughborough. Loughborough coming through. Strathclyde losing balance and just about getting the silver medal. UEL picking up bronze and Cardiff Met picking up 4th. Oh, Strathclyde's final man has clutched his left hamstring, but I think he's just about done enough to hold on to the silver medal spot. Loughborough looked down and out at one point after that 2nd changeover. It was carnage, absolute carnage. Halfway through, Cardiff Met nearly put a bumper on the entire race. But Loughborough are the champions. Well, I'm sure they'll take a look at the replay of this before announcing the result, but what a way to bring the curtain down. There's been drama at every distance, from the 60 all the way up to the 3K on the track. 1:27.54 is the time on the clock. And that's a time worthy of winning any championship at this level. Loughborough pick up the final gold medal. Strathclyde, having led for so long, pick up silver, and they deserve huge, huge credit as well, hanging on at the end. I'll wait for that result to be confirmed, but in the meantime, it is time for the presentation of a brilliant women's final. Cardiff Met picking up gold in that one. Well, what a fantastic way to finish the weekend. Two brilliant relays, two brilliant champions. Cardiff Met standing at the top of the podium. They were imperious. It was less cut and dry in terms of the men's race, but I have been told that the result will stand. And there is no race inquiry, despite some of the Cardiff Met lads looking more akin to Danny Milton's BUCS Super Rugby team with their antics in the changeover zone. Thank you very much for joining us. BUCS Big Wednesday, 27th of March, remember. 14 sports competing in their finals at the University of Nottingham. There'll be plenty televised as well. If you enjoyed the coverage, please do join us for those. And every Wednesday, live on the BUCS channels, as well as the RFU media outlets as well. Join us for BUCS Super Rugby, presented by Yoti. Huge thank you to our partners here who've helped us bring you the BUCS Nationals at the EIS. Cook Creek, Hathaway, Outgoing, and Camp America.
A buttload of sinking now.
Cook Creek, the official kit suppliers, not just for BUCS, but many universities who compete in the championships as well. So a huge thanks to them for their continued support. And have a look at their new range as well. So the dates for your diary then: 27th of March for BUCS Big Wednesday, 10th of April for the BUCS Super Rugby final, live from Twickenham. One final presentation to come today. Loughborough receiving the gold medal for the 4x200 metre relay.
Alright, let's get out of here then. Well, let's sink everything in. Alright. Tim, put my vest back.
Well, this is the final presentation for the men's 4x200. UEL picking up bronze, and they worked for that as well. A great reward. And that proves, if you've got any doubt, you should always, always review a disqualification. Originally, they were discarded. They took it to the video, they were reinstated, and they leave with a bronze medal. Huge congratulations to UEL. Strathclyde, despite that injury at the end, still went under 128. Some performance from them. They were the fastest qualifiers. And for 700 meters, thought they were going to be leaving with the gold medal here, but they held on. Massive final leg, and they leave with the silver. But as for Loughborough, 15 meters behind going into the final leg, and managed to make the pass on the inside. And with that victory, Loughborough have done enough to sneak the entire championship. They've won the men's with 93 points. They've won the women's with 53.5. And once again, athletics proves to be one of the forte sports. It's this weekend every year where they propel themselves to the top of the overall BUCS tree. Remember, it's over 30 years and counting, both men's, women's and overall. But take a look at that podium. So much pace, so much talent, and what a way to end the weekend here. And that draws the curtain down on the BUCS National Championships 2019. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for your continued support of BUCS and BUCS Sport, celebrating 100 years of university sport this year, and celebrating it in style as well. From all of us here at the EIS, we look forward to you joining us on the 27th of March for BUCS Big Wednesday, the 10th of April for the BUCS Super Rugby Final, and anything and everything that's coming up from this fantastic British University sports organisation. From everyone here, hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll certainly enjoy the rest of mine. And until next time, goodbye.
Female team scores, the male team scores,